good time to ask if we're doing an intro when it's time to do the intro. So I think probably time to do the intro. Hey, everybody.
Delete.
No, don't cut. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Space Tomatoes podcast. This is LX here. Hi. Over here is my number one guy, Havoc. Hello, Havoc.
Over there is
Wherever
Havoc.
you want. Yeah, he could be somewhere over there. I don't know how you're going to cut it up.
Know.
He's somewhere. He's next to me on one side or the other.
Yeah. So how's your morning going?
Good. We went to our morning walk, did our couple miles. Then we start hearing like stuff over the intercom, and we're like, "What is that?" Like
what's an intercom?
You know, like a big PA system.
Like, you have a PA system?
No, we were on our walk, and we're like, well, "What is that noise?" Like somebody talking over a PA system. We're like, "What's going on?" Then we hear the national anthem being played or sung. Apparently, they were having. Then we see these people set up on these corners, the street corners. Apparently, they're having a little 5K run through the area where we usually go from the YMCA is not too far. So we're like, man, we better get finished before we get mowed over here, I guess.
Right? Yeah.
So we got done barely in time.
Some charity thing or something?
The YMCA, I don't know. They're just doing a 5K run.
That's pretty cool.
We saw like the water people out there and like, what's going on? I'm like, the YMCA is doing a 5K run. I'm like, oh, okay.
The water people.
Yeah. Like they had a table with water on it. I mean, 5K is really not that far, is it? Is that like three miles or something?
Yeah, it's not that far. I've done a number of 5 and 10K like charity stuff, both working at like a stand as well as I walk them. I'm not a runner. I'm not built for running, and I just no, I'm not really. Like I was working out pretty heavily when I was younger, and I felt I had kind of plateaued with my cardio, and so I'll try running, see how that goes. And so I did, and ended up causing me a bunch of joint pain and stuff. I actually went to the doctor because I had gone scuba diving and thought, I came up from a dive. I was in safe limits. Everything was okay. And I've been diving now for like freaking 40 years.
Oh, wow.
40. Oh, wow. Yeah. 42 years. But, I was in safe limits as to everything else, but I started getting joint aches and some weird, pains that just were anomalous. And I was like, I better go get checked out. See, if potentially I've got, a very light case of the bends or something, so I went and checked it out. They checked me out, and he's like, you look like you work out. Did you change your routine? And at first I was like, no, and blah, blah, blah. And he came back and he's like, yeah, tests are negative. You're okay. You sure there's nothing? And I go, you know what? I started running. And he looks at me, he goes, have you ever seen runners? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, what do they look like? I don't know, kind of tall, skinny people, I guess. He goes, yeah, are you tall? I'm like, no. He's like, are you skinny? No. Maybe that's not the sport for you. Go back to biking or something.
So he's trying to tell you in a kind way.
Well, I'm kind of a stocky built person. I'm not a lanky kind of a person, and if you look at runners, there's quite typically not the stocky people that are out there running.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and running is, in my opinion, is not good for your body. I just don't think it is. I don't think it's bad for your body to do that as, part of a routine, etc. But running in general is worse for your body than you can get on a bicycle, right? You can walk, right? You won't get the cardio from walking, but you also won't stress your heart. You won't, mess with your joints. Joints is a big one, right? And so, yeah, and biking, you can get all the cardio you want. And again, you're not putting that kind of massive stress on the joints just as you run.
I'll tell you what, though, you impressed the crap out of me with your fireman's carry of our of our friend there.
Fireman's carry of a fireman.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to mention anybody, but
Oh, yeah, I didn't say who it was. I just said it was a fireman.
yeah. So one of our friends had a little incident that was
we should say fire person.
A fire person. They were incapacitated for a short amount of time and they couldn't walk. And so Mr. Havoc over here just picked this person right up, threw them over his shoulder, carried them back to the house. It was quite the spectacle. I was very impressed. Let me tell you.
Me too.
I wish I would have taken like a picture or something, maybe video.
Yeah, there are pictures.
Oh, there is. Oh, all right.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep it in my mind since I don't carry any kind of device like that to take pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there's the problem. We got to get you like a little non-phone,
like a camera. Like you mean? No, I'm good.
No, like a tablet, but phone size, so you can carry it with you and take videos and pictures and do stuff like that. But no phone, zero phone, no internet, no nothing. It'll just like Bluetooth to your tablet, your big tablet.
You know, talking about tablets, I always said that like when my current iPad is dead, that like I'm done. My wife doesn't want to take that for an answer, and like people around me don't really want to take that for an answer because it does essentially cut me off from everything. I mean, you can still write letters and stuff like that, but
if we can do the podcast with letters,
yeah, I mean, I'll log on once a week to do this. I can do it.
My dearest Alex,
I like letters. Maybe I should get a PO box, right? We had a PO box for some reason at some point. I don't remember why, but anyway.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, looking at tablets really kind of irritates me because none of the new ones, at least the ones from Apple, you cannot get them with wired headphone jack, and I prefer wired headphones, like just because I like them better. None of them have a headphone jack. None of the phones have a headphone jack. I don't know if it's other manufacturers too, or just Apple, but it's kind of irritating.
I think there's still some, not mainstream brands that do have the little, was it, RCA mini jacks or whatever.
Yeah, like 3.5 mil jack for, standard jack.
Yeah, but they do make a little USB dongle.
Yeah.
Your USB and stick that thing.
Yeah, you got more crap hanging off the end. They break off when you hold it or whatever.
That's why we buy this stuff, so that it can break, so we can buy new stuff.
Yeah, I did notice my tablet is getting slower. I'm sure that's planned obsolescence and all that nonsense.
Well, maybe, but how old is your tablet?
I don't know. I'm probably 5 years old.
Really?
Yeah, probably. Maybe 6. I don't know.
So you got it.
I really don't know.
You left the game.
What's that?
You got it right before you left the game.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Because I actually carried both of them around for a while. Like I had 2 iPads because I didn't know how to switch the email over on one to the other one because I forgot the password. And like since I set it up on my phone, they want to send me like a confirmation text to my phone. Since I don't have a phone anymore, like that makes it, virtually impossible. So then to reset your Microsoft email or whatever, you got to wait 30 days or something like that. Or I don't remember how I did it, but eventually I got it done. And I could ditch the old one. That the old one was actually much nicer. It was the Pro model that had the dual speakers on it, and I liked it a lot better. But I went with the standard one this time, which it still works okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly, right? The models they throw out there, they're like, "Ooh, this one has like, like better speakers."
Right. Well, let's talk about the Pro. Like a lot of things put Pro after the end. All right, like you could buy like a pickup truck Pro, or like like a SUV Pro, or an iPad Pro, or a
professional,
or even a phone Pro.
Mode.
Like, isn't the whole Pro thing like you're using it to make money with? Like, I mean, the definition of professional, right?
I
don't know. It just seems silly.
It is. It's really silly because you look at it and you're like, well, it's not professional. There's nothing pro.
Right.
You know, yeah. It's a silly thing. It is. It's all advert marketing. Like what tweaks the human psyche enough to make you want this one and pay more for this one? And they've found out that anything that's professional grade, anything like that, people are like, oh, this is good stuff. We got to get.
You got me thinking with that last episode, man. Maybe I should get into selling like women's clothing for 3 times the cost, and that sounds like a good deal.
It's an insane thing. It is. You literally think about this, ladies. If you're out there, think about this. Honestly, go. Just look at a few things. Look at some T-shirts on your rack. And then go over to the men's shirts and look at the T-shirts. Do you notice less fabric? Is it not as nice? Is the print not as good? No, it's all the same. In fact, you might even be able to find the same basic brand of shirt, and you'll notice that your stuff is way more expensive.
I mean, they do cut them a little different, right?
Well, sure. There's less fabric, and it is tapered. You'll have a bit of a different cut and feel to it, but again, that doesn't. When I was doing it, I don't want to give away the name of the company, but let's just put it this way: at $20, I was making roughly $18 per shirt.
That's crazy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the same thing like these sneakers. I mean, what are they, like $150 a pair for name brand sneakers? What are they? They're probably paying less than $10.
Yeah.
Insane to me.
It is, but I mean, keep in mind that the cost of it was fairly low, but that's also considering bulk. That's not like running a shirt, right. A single.
You also got to deal with customer end things like fraud and returns and probably other shrinkage things. Yeah.
Scam returns, etc. Right. I didn't have much of an issue with inventory loss or anything like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, the shipping stuff and people, and I didn't even understand this at first. I'm like, what is going on here? But people were like, purchasing these things and then having them shipped to like vacant lots.
Really?
Well, it turns out they were using stolen credit cards and shipping them to a vacant lot near town. And when the driver shows up, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's for me."
So that now, when the person that actually owns those cards reports them stolen, who has to eat that? You, as the merchant?
No. Well, I mean, I ate the loss of inventory. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ate the loss of inventory. It was kind of like, well, my inventory's gone. What are you going to do? And they're like, well, we're not going to keep paying. That was, not money that was meant to go to you, So, in that case, it wasn't that big of a deal for me. I never, had like, I made some mistakes in that business that I should have done a lot more research into that whole industry because I made some big mistakes. So I never really sold a volume enough to where that would become problematic,
So were you drop shipping from somewhere else, or did you actually buy the inventory and was like storing it in your garage and all that stuff? That's probably where the fun comes in, right? Yeah, if you don't have a 100,000 foot warehouse, it probably takes up a lot of room where you're living.
It really doesn't. If you think about it, a box, I want to say it's probably a 24-inch box, something like that. Maybe it's a bigger one, 36 inches. Maybe it's 20. I want to say 24, but a sizable box, and there'd be 1,000 shirts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's not as bad as you might think as far as storage, right? And clothing is pretty compact. If it's all the same and it's all folded the same way and stacked the same way, then you can stack a lot of clothing in a single area. Maybe it wasn't 1,000 shirts, but it was at least 500. I have to say. Because I remember picking up one time a run, I think of 6,000 shirts, and I was able to fit that into my Land Rover at the time, so it wasn't a lot.
You have your own website where you put these, or did you? How did you market them?
Yeah, I had my own website. I'd gotten some traction with some retailers as well, and this is where mistakes started coming in. The traction with the retailers is where you want to be, right? But you also have to have a massively consistent output, right? Like, I mean, very, very consistent. Most of the time people will farm these jobs out because they can afford to front the cost of the clothing and the printing for such a large run. And so that brings in this thing called factoring, right? And it gets different than what I thought it was, and I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't ready for it, and I had no idea about it. So, if you decide to go start a business, learn about that industry before you go do it. Otherwise, you'll probably throw a lot of money away and then go, well, yeah.
Nice. No, I mean, I used to sell a lot of stuff on eBay. This is like 15 years ago, and it was actually kind of decent. I didn't mind it. And then like slowly, like the whole mindset went towards, I don't want to say protecting the buyer. They've always had buyer protections in place, but more favoring the buyer for everything, and saying like, just screw you to the seller. You'd have people sending back, they'd buy something and send back like something that wasn't even there, swapping out their bad one for, or their good one for a bad one and sending you garbage back, or complaining about nonsense, and eBay would just refund them immediately, with no consideration. They pulled some of my listings for ridiculous reasons.
Yeah, I never really got that into doing that. I had a friend that did that. Like had his own little, camera station set up with an overhead camera and lights and stuff, and would take beautiful photos of the stuff and all that stuff. And I guess he was doing okay with it, right? It was just kind of a side hustle.
Yeah, it was just something to do in my spare time. Yeah, I mean, some people do it full time, I guess.
Yeah. I did sell a few things through eBay, I think, way back in the day. And it didn't seem that bad, but yeah, I've heard stories. And I mean, it's, back in the day you could go on like, whatever marketplace and, list something and get it sold, and you just do a transaction. It was all pretty good.
Right.
I've heard your stories now, and I've dealt with people on other apps, and it's like, dude, no, man, I don't have time for this. People, well, yeah, I want it. Okay. And then they show up and they're like, well, will you take 50? It's listed for 100. It's like, no, I put 100 on there, and like, well, I only got 50. And okay, well then why did you come here? What was the point here? I told you I wanted 100. You agreed to 100. We agreed on time and a date, and you show up and you're like, oh, all I've got is 50. And it's like, go fuck yourself.
That happened to me one time. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, it's that kind of stuff. And it's like, whatever, I prefer to list stuff that's free, and just people are grateful when they come and they grab it. And it's like, okay, good. Because I just don't want to deal with the hassle of that kind of bullshit. Yeah. Or worse, you set up a time and a date and then no show. And then they call you 2 hours later and they're like, hey, I'm running a little bit late. Can I still come? It's like, no, it's, if you would have called me beforehand, sure. But 2 hours late, you didn't even have the courtesy to just let me know. Hey,
No, there's a general, I don't know, lack of respect, I think, amongst that crowd that frequents those things. I mean, I don't know. I've had good interactions with people too.
Those people,
the buying and selling on the online people. Those people.
Them. The buyers.
And then I don't know if they've ever changed. Did they ever go through with the IRS thing that they want to send you like a 1099 at the end of the year for anything over like $600 transfer? I think they kind of walked that back several times, but.
Oh no, I think it went into place. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I mean, it's ridiculous. $600 reporting. Are you freaking crazy? Come on.
Right.
No.
So, like, if you sell your couch on the marketplace or whatever, they want you to, or you sell a $600 camera. It's like having a yard sale. I mean, I guess legally, do you have to report your yard sale as income?
I'm not a person to ask about that shit, because I don't know. I'm moving my camera a little bit. I felt a little off center there. Now I'm more balanced. Yeah, I don't know. There's some silliness in there. I remember once I read a thing. Apparently there's a thing in there somewhere that says if you steal something, you have to report it as income.
I did see an article on that. Like, if you're a drug dealer, like, they won't come after you unless you don't report your income on your taxes. So
yeah. Come on, man. It's so bad. It's the stupidest and most ridiculous thing. You literally find something that is not directly or indirectly taxed. Here's a challenge to all of you. Find one thing that you can do that isn't directly or indirectly taxed. In other words, you can't drive to go do it. That's all taxed stuff. Your car, the roads, something you can do besides your own bodily function.
So breathing doesn't count?
It isn't directly or indirectly taxed. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And it even goes to bodily functions, I guess. I mean, if you really think about it, you pay taxes on sewer and water and stuff like that. So if you use a toilet, you're being taxed.
You and I were having a little discussion about the property tax. It's weird. Every state is different too. So like in our state, we just helped my wife's parents get another $50,000 exemption on their place, which, like, they don't tell you about these things at all. You have to find out about and then you got to fill out the paperwork and go down there and do them all. Like, when they went down there, it was super easy to do, but they won't tell you that when you're paying your taxes. Like, oh, hey, you're over 65 and you qualify for this. You would think they would, but no, they don't.
Hell no. Why would they do that?
That's the other thing. Even the amount, like the $50,000. So, like, that might have been something 25 years ago when houses were $100,000, but $50,000 doesn't really take much off of there anymore.
No, it really doesn't. Especially when they revalue properties, right? They come through revaluation stuff with taxes, and they're like, "Oh, your property's now worth $100,000 more."
We can tax you on your
right.
They just want to tax you on your unrealized gains. How is that fair? That's not really fair.
No, it's ridiculous. Why is it more? Like the whole deck thing, right? When we were putting on a deck, it's like, literally, like, I'm already paying property tax, and if I personally build on my own property a new covered area attached to my house, it increases my tax burden. Why? What? Who came up with this Ponzi scheme? Honestly, what is this? And it's all wrapped, like you said. There's so much hidden in there. Nobody knows what the hell. Seriously, nobody actually has a real solid clue. Like, do you actually owe anything? Is there, something that says, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm certainly not a lawyer. Don't take any advice from me, man. I mean, I could talk to you about how to cook some meat and do some stuff like that, but I'm not a guy like this. So, but it just seems to me that it's all wrapped in, and it's wrapped in legalese. Right?
I think you're right.
It's so ridiculously enormous. The codes, the regulations, all of this stuff. You couldn't possibly, like, literally, even judges, right? They are narrow interest for the most part, right? You'll have a criminal court. You'll have family court. You'll have, corporate law. You'll have this.
Traffic
You'll
law,
have that.
right.
Lawyers. Same thing with lawyers, right? Because nobody could literally know the law. Nobody. It's impossible. Well, let me take that back. There's probably like someone with, a form of, Asperger's or autism of some form that could, absorb all this information. There's probably people out there that could, but they're going to be like the, 1 in 10 billion or something. Right. So, and then you take that and you go, okay, well, it's this voluminous amount of crap. So nobody can actually know it, but let's get even worse, right? It's twisted and tangled and interconnected. And then each section, and this is all stuff I've learned. I'm trying to educate myself on some of this so that I have some kind of a clue, because I literally don't. You'll have each section will have definitions that they can put out. Like, this word actually means this. You could say shoe actually means like a box, a red box. Okay, well, that's not what a shoe is. Everyone knows what a shoe is. Oh no. In the definitions, it's actually a red box. Okay. And then it's not quite that bad. It is that bad, but it's sneaky as crap, right? Because things that the definition for are not the definition. And then if those definitions aren't put in there, then it's assumed that you go to a legal dictionary where once a fucking again, I know that word, and you're telling me it means something different than what I know. Okay. So you've literally written your own fucking language and then made it so fucking voluminous that nobody can actually know it all. And then you're like, okay, go do it and make it right. Well, how do I do that? Well, pay someone. Well, how do I know they know that it's right? You don't. You just trust them because they got our certificate, which we told you it was right. And it comes back to the same thing. It's like, yeah, that $50K, that should just be your exemption, right? I mean, given certain circumstances, that should just be like auto applied. Hey, we've noticed, blah, 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 click, done. It's a done deal. But you've got to figure out that actually exists.
Mm-hmm.
And then from figuring out it exists, you've got to figure out what forms, what do I have to do? Do I have to go to an office? Do I have to, notarize? Do I have to certify? Do I have to blah, blah, blah? But nobody's going to tell you that. And what else is out there? Do you know? You don't. You have no idea. And nobody's going to tell you.
Right.
Nobody.
Right. Yeah.
So it's one of those, it's just, Jones Plantation. Right? It's just, we get wrapped up in this whole, I don't want to go into this right now. I'm having a chill morning and I'm going to have a wonderful day. It's a fucked up situation is what it is. It's really bad. It really is. And the more you look into it, the more you just go, what is going on here?
I think a lot of stuff in government is like that. I know you're a fan, though, so I mean, I don't want to disparage the people you're a fan of.
Government is that. Government is that. They are the creators of that. They are the.
It's funny though, because so I was just perusing the property appraiser site, which it's all public information here. I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but so I just not that I'm really nosy, but yeah, I'm a little nosy. So like putting in the names of like people that used to be like on the board of county commissioners and whatnot, and then you realize like they have $163,000 exemption on their house and they pay zero taxes. How does that work? It's like, about who you know and what boxes you check and everything else.
But you have to go find that. You have to figure it out. It's on you to do it. And it in reality, it's not free, because you're either going to spend years of your time, and I mean years, trying to figure this stuff out and find what is there, or you have to go pay someone that their job is to know all of that stuff. And the more they know that stuff, the more they charge.
Yeah, that's true.
And so it's just this, it's really bad, all of the whole thing, right, is all like that. It's all, like this, the omnibus bills or any bill that comes across in Congress, the same dang thing. Look, the way all this stuff should really work is there should never be more than one thing in one bill, period. Fucking full stop.
Right. Why do they have to be, 400 or 500 pages or 1,000 pages of stuff like it?
Thousands of pages, right? It's because everyone has to have their little piece of the pie and they all negotiate, right? People think, oh, they don't negotiate. They do negotiate. That's how we end up getting like $5 trillion fucking spending packages. Because everybody and their mother gets to negotiate in their little fucking pet project. And we all get fucked badly in the ass with a barrel cactus.
So what do you think about puppies? Do you like puppies?
I love puppies, man. Puppies are awesome. They are. They're so awesome. They really are. Hey, have you gotten dates yet?
No dates yet.
Is this gonna really happen?
I hope so. I mean, I'm kind of like letting it ride on the, if it's going to happen, things will happen the way they're supposed to be.
Are you just hoping that during a very specific time frame that a puppy will magically
That's not going to happen. Even if it was, even if they had a breeding like tomorrow, the timetable wouldn't match up. So either we'll take another trip in that direction at some point, or. Yeah.
Or
I'm not pushing it because, I really do think things happen for a reason when they, they're supposed to. And every time I've tried to force something, it usually doesn't work out very well.
Every time?
Most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, I forced the tray back under the brooder last night. Worked out fine.
All right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Things, yeah. If you're, for me, if I'm doing something and I'm continually encountering resistance, it signals to me it's time to maybe step back for a second, look at what's going on. My desire, what is it I'm trying to do that doesn't fit some way, somehow, in some form, right? And it's like the old adage, want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
So I mean, we do want a puppy. We want we want a dog in our life again. There is a lot of variables. So I mean, it is quite an investment to start with, and then
sure.
There's a lot of unscrupulous breeders out there. Let's just put it at that. And I mean, I think we'd rather just go with someone we know and trust.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. If you've found a good breeder, stick with your breeder if you can. And if you can't, talk to them about someone that can help you. You know what I mean? Because, man, there are just puppy mills everywhere, and people that are like, they'll take an obvious mixed breed, parent and breed them with a purebred maybe, and put out puppies that they look the part, and then they'll AKC register them, and you're thinking, oh, I've got an AKC registered. Yeah, I could register my rock. You just go to AKC's site, pay them some money, and my rock is now an AKC registered rock. Probably not a rock, but you know what I'm saying. This isn't like some real certification, right? So do your due diligence, get a good breeder, make sure you look for lineage papers. That's one of the things that we both look for, my wife and I, is I want to see, who the diamond sire is and who the diamond sire is for each of those as well, right? I don't need to go further than that, but, if you find a reputable a reputable breeder. It's a tongue twister there. Find one of those people, and they'll definitely provide you with that level of information. And if you really wanted to, they'll go even further. And then you get into OFA certification, which they can't truly certify, but they can certify the parents,
right?
And then they can offer you like, hey, at 1 year, get your OFA and we will guarantee that it'll come out good or better, right? There's things like that. And if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, don't go fucking buy a dog. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Do your research first. This isn't just like some thing that you purchase. It's a life. It's a living being.
All those things are very, very important. So, like, while we could have a dog or a German Shepherd tomorrow, I don't, like, then you're looking down the road that, there's probably going to be hip and shoulder problems and health issues. And they're just, there's a huge, I mean, not saying that even if we get it from, the person we've been dealing with for a long, long time, there's nothing guaranteed. I mean, like, things happen, but
no, of course not. But and even the guarantees that they do give you, look, I've run into one time a situation where, the guarantee wasn't entirely met,
right?
And they were like, we'll honor the contract, but the problem is the contract is surrendered.
Right, you're not going to do that. Come on. Nobody does that. I mean, unless you're like some real cold-hearted monster. You're not going to have a dog for a year or two and it's, just exchange it for another one.
There are people out there that, have dogs for very specific purposes. Mm-hmm. Working dogs are a big one. Show dogs would be another one, right? And by show, I don't necessarily just mean like, the best of breed type stuff. There's also Schutzhund. There's working class show dogs, like the sheepdog. You see the events and they go out and they herd sheep. So when I say show, it's not all just in a ring with a suit on, trotting next to your dog. There are a lot of different kinds of show arenas, but in those cases you may find people that are like, yeah, because this isn't just my dog, this is an investment in what I do for a living.
Right. No, that's true.
Police dog, right? They'd be like, yeah, we can't have that, right? It just can't. So send them back,
On that subject, we were actually talking to a guy that's a deputy here, and he really likes the German Shepherd breed. And, we asked him, well, why aren't you like a dog handler or, canine unit? And he's like, well, the problem with that is that I could never do it because those dogs aren't companions, they're tools.
Yeah.
So like you have to take, to me, like my dog is my best friend. I can't throw my best friend over a fence or throw it in an attic, after a guy that has a gun or a knife and it's going into a dangerous situation. And while they may feel bad that their dog got hurt, I mean, at the end of the day, for a working dog like that, for, an agency, it is a tool. It's a battering ram or a gun or, you don't want to lose those things either, but it's, but I don't think the emotional attachment is quite the same as your companion or pet.
And it's not. And real talk here, real talk. I love all of our animals. I absolutely do. But I would not intervene with my LGDs if they were going after like a pack of coyotes. House dogs, I absolutely would. Okay, so even there, right? The LGDs have a job, and I love them. We give them all kinds of love, and we give them treats, and they're just amazing puppies. But I have a different emotional attachment to them than I do to the dogs that live in the house with us. It sounds weird, but in reality, that's the truth. If you take it that far, that's what they're there for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're there to protect all of the other animals. the horses, the goats, the chickens, the turkeys, the geese, as well as, you know, the barn cats, you know, and to an extent us, right? But that's their job. And they don't live in the house. They have a, you know, they have plenty of room in a barn, right? And, you know, plenty of area to roam and do their thing. But, you know, we don't have the same emotional attachment to them that we do to our house dogs.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Like if we brought a chicken in the house, okay, well now we have a house chicken. Okay,
I've seen house chickens.
So have I. Yeah, a little diaper on the butt, and cruise around.
It's not for me, but I've seen people do it.
I did once.
Did you really?
Yeah. On a we were just playing around in some chat group, and they're doing truth or dare, right? And it was, you know, truth or dare, and I'm like, all right, I'll take the dare. And they're like, okay, you have to get a chicken and have it do a lap dance for you while playing this song and video it. So I did.
Wow.
So we went and got a chicken, brought it into the house, put this song on, put it on my lap, you know, kind of like, you know, in the same vein of the nose challenge, right? Yeah.
I think I would have just taken the truth or whatever.
Yeah, you know, it was all, you know, there wasn't anything like crazy or anything. It was like that kind of stuff, right? It wasn't like nobody was being weird or anything like that. It was all like fun. You know what I mean? Well, because those things can be all, you know, truth or dare could go all kinds.
I've never actually played that game. Yeah,
really?
No.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
That's okay. I'm good. I'll have a cookie. Because I don't eat cookies. I'll be like,
running down the driveway naked.
Not happening.
Good. You never know.
Nope, not happening.
No? All right. Yeah, I think that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I could go for like a dare you to play a crappy acoustic guitar cover song of something and sound really horrible. I could do that one.
No, hey, I think you'll do that without being dared.
Right?
Which is okay, man. It's all part of the whole, you know, I love that time of year. I just really do. It just, I look forward to it so much throughout the year.
Me too.
Like, I mean, heck, I'm planning the stuff by the time, you know, we haven't even gone 6 months since it ended, and I'm already like, okay, what are the dates? I gotta book the Airbnb, you know, gotta get it going. In reality, that Airbnb is probably would have still been available right now, but it's been booked for months.
Okay.
You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
We've stayed at quite a few different ones. Oh, what do you think about the Airbnb thing? Like, you think it's a better value than a hotel? I mean, it works for us.
I think it's it depends. It depends on what you're trying to do, etc. Right? Because you can get a fairly reasonable hotel rate, right? But it depends on a lot of things, right? Hotel, you're going to be locked into restaurant eating.
Okay.
Period. Hotel, you're going to be like, you know, you're not going to have a place for your stuff. Really, you're going to have a little closet, and you're going to live out of a bag. You know, the amenities will all be shared amenities, which, you know, I'm not opposed to that, but, you know, given the chance, the option of going to a public pool or my own little pool in the backyard, I think I'm going to take the backyard.
Me too.
Almost every day. So I think it's just different, right? And when it comes to large groups, you can't beat Airbnb, right? You put, you know, 7-8 people into a house that's designed for that, right? It's set up. I'm not, you know, don't be cool, right? These are people's homes that they're renting to you. Maybe not always. Sometimes it's investors, etc. But it's still some, you know, ostensibly someone or something's home. I don't know. Not big on that whole aspect of it, but it's someone's home. So be cool, right? And you know, stick to the rules as much as possible, but it gives you the ability to take a group like a family gathering, or alpaca, or whatever, right? Reunions, whatever the heck you want to do, and put a group of people together in their own little private space somewhere to enjoy some time together. So I think it really just depends on what you're doing and what you're trying to do.
I have read horror stories. No, I really have no experience on that end, but the fees and stuff that they stick you with afterward, is that excessive? Have they gotten worse over time?
I don't think they actually did do some rework on that. I believe this last year, was it, or this year? I don't remember. And I think they've been soliciting feedback. They've asked me through a few things about this, and I think the general consensus is this, right? Is you go to an Airbnb and there's a cleaning fee, right? But all of the Airbnbs require you to clean,
right,
before you
to a certain extent, right? And I'm sure that like our rentals are, I would say, probably on the minority. I would say most people leave them dirtier than we do. I'm just like
sure.
So I don't know if that's warranted or not, but
I just look at it like this, right? If you're gonna rent a place or have a place, leave it as good, if not better, than when you
absolutely
got there. It's just that simple, and I don't really mind the fees so much, except that one, right? Don't expect me to clean up. If you're gonna have, if I'm paying a pretty penny for someone else to clean the damn place, they can clean up. Like, they can take the trash and put it outside. They can take the sheets off the bed and put them in the fucking dry washer or whatever. They can take the towels out of the bathrooms and put them in the washer, stuff like that. No, I still do that stuff because you're asking me to, and I want to be cool. But at the end of the day, it's one thing or the other. You've got a crew coming in. They can strip the dang bed. They can get the towels. They're cleaning already. They're going to, I hope, visit every room. So why am I doing this? You know what I mean? You go to a hotel, you don't do shit for that, right?
Right.
And so that's kind of the thought process right there, right? The hotel's built in cleaning fees and everything else. Airbnb, that should just kind of be built into the price. And you shouldn't be expecting me to do all this minutia to keep your, to clean up, right? Now, if you're like leaving, don't leave a mess. I'm not saying that, but I am saying if you've got cleaners coming in, they can strip the bed. I don't need to do this on the day I'm leaving. You know what I mean? That's all.
Right. No, I mean, I would think, like, you have a garbage can, you throw your stuff in the garbage can. They could take out the bag as part of the cleaning fee. Maybe just easy stuff. Not I'm not saying like leaving garbage all around the place, because we don't do that. I'm sure some people do that. I don't know. It doesn't say not to do that. I don't know, but
yeah, no, it usually does, right? And that's the stuff that I'm in agreement with, right? You don't leave the place trash. You don't leave like a stack of dirty dishes in the sink from all week. You don't do stuff like that, right? At least put the dishes in the dishwasher, right? But again, it's the little stuff. It's like you're cleaning already. You can get the sheets. You can put them in the washing machine. You can do all this stuff. And I get it. They're trying to cut down on their cleaning fees, etc. But hey, we're not. I don't know. It just seems odd that I've got to clean up, and then you're going to have cleaners come in and clean. Where any other type of situation like this, where I am renting something, that cleaner is going to take care of all of that stuff. A la hotel.
Right.
So,
for the most part, though, we've had a pretty good experience, I think, with that Airbnb every year. We haven't had anything too terribly negative. I mean, trying to get it, the door lock was a little wonky on one, the code thing. But besides that,
the call the lady and the son's there, and yeah, she wasn't feeling well at the time, and apparently they couldn't get the door open, and she lost her cookies. right after the lady answered the Ring doorbell camera thing.
It was kind of a little late too. I don't know if it was like midnight or 1 o'clock or something. We were coming back in, and
I mean, hey,
it was a little awkward, just a little bit.
I felt so bad for her. Oh man, she was not having a good time there, you know?
Yeah.
A bummer.
Yeah. About like the fifth time we're trying to get the code to work in the door and it's not working. And then the lady answers the doorbell. Can I help you guys get in? And then all on the background, well, we're good. And then we got it open. No, we're all good. Thanks.
It's like high school or college level shenanigans right there. But again, we left these, the guests have always left the place very clean and in very good
shape.
No,
I went out there with the hose and hosed it down or something. It was all good. Like it never happened.
Yeah. No, nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed. No, nobody will know. I don't know. Nobody will know. Nobody will know.
Well, they never said anything, so I imagine they would.
No, besides that, the place was, we left it exactly like we came into it, so you don't have nothing to complain about.
Yeah. No, we and that's the big thing, right? We, again, just leave it as good or better. And it turns out well. So I like the Airbnb thing. I think, sometimes you look at some of them and you're like, yeah, no, you think really highly of your property, don't you?
The ones you've stayed at in Florida were pretty nice. I thought. Well, I mean, with the sinkhole floor thing. Besides that was minor stuff.
Yeah. They were great. I had no issue. The first place was a little over the top. A little bit. You're just over the top.
Lots of rocks, lots of stones on the wall.
Yeah. And chandeliers in every room. Chandeliers in the bathroom. There was a chandelier over the master bath. It was interesting. It was a nice place, though. It was right on the water. It was beautiful. It was.
Oh, it was great. Till the hurricane season. That's probably not so great.
Yeah, that property got kind of...
I'm sure that thing's been flooded like 20 times in the last 25 years.
Probably, yeah. But it was, that's probably one of the reasons for the rock, right? You get flooded and then you're like, okay, I'm getting
rid of drywall, yeah.
Let it all you want. It's rock. Tile flooring everywhere. There is no carpet. Nope. Why? Because floods.
I'm sure there's a reason for all those things.
Yeah, but the sinkhole house was pretty interesting. That was weird. I've never been in a house where the floor had holes in it. You know what I mean? Like not visible. Like they'd put linoleum over the stuff, or not linoleum.
Vinyl, the luxury vinyl planks.
Laminate flooring, yeah. And but there were holes under it, and you're like, whoa, then playing Jenga, that was hilarious. Trying to find a little spot somewhere on the floor that you could put this.
It was the big Jenga though, not the little one, the big one. Yeah, the jumbo.
Yeah, true.
That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, we got that set for.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, the game room in the garage was pretty nice too.
It really was. I thought, and I guess a number of Airbnbs are doing this kind of stuff, setting up game rooms and basements or garages, etc. And I think it's an amazing idea, right? Especially if you're in a family-oriented area or something like that, or you have families that are coming in. Kids go play in the game room, family fun night in the game room, ping pong. They had a pool table, dartboard, arcade games, like stand-up arcade games, and a pinball machine, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was nice.
It was nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. The pool was nice. The place was nice. You can gripe about anything, right? I mean, like the pump.
The pump was a little loud.
A little. It's like, what is
it? It was like a 747 coming into land. It was similar.
Right? And it was all newer gear. I looked at it.
The pump was brand new. It still had the sticker on it. Like they just had it done the week before.
Yeah. And so, but it was loud, like industrial strength freaking, that was the professional grade pump.
I'm sure they paid for it.
We brought that one all the way back around.
Nice. So what are you going to have planned for this Saturday? Any yard work? Are you all caught up?
Well, we're never all caught up, right? So we've got a few things going, but this is probably our last, maybe, but it got to 88 degrees yesterday.
Okay.
And it's going to be 7 degrees today, and we're in September, and the nights are in the 60s. So this is looking like yesterday we got in the pool. Today we're getting in the pool because we won't be able to do that until April, May next year.
Wow.
Pretty soon here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this might be the last day of pool. Not because we may get days that are warm enough to be in the pool, but the problem is the nights are getting cooler and cooler. And so it cools off the water so much that it doesn't matter how hot it gets in the day. It's just not warm enough to get in the pool. So, and I love the pool. Being in that pool and having the view we have and all that stuff is just, literally, we've had this conversation, my wife and I. It's like sitting on vacation and, there comes a point and you're like, why are we even here? You know what I mean? Because I could be sitting in a pool on our property looking at this beautiful, beautiful scene with our animals and everything. It's like, this isn't better than that. You know what I mean? It's just different. It's a different pool with a different view,
Does
that make sense?
I understand your point completely. I mean, if it weren't for our friends and the people that we love, we wouldn't leave the house. There's no reason to.
Same. Well, for the most part, I keep knocking my microphone. This guy over here messed me up. No, he's there. That guy messed me up. He flipped our things. So now my thing's all wonky, and then this thing. And for a while there, I was like this, like hiding, like I'm just going to hide right here. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that doesn't make too much noise, me swinging this thing around.
I can't hear it.
Massaging.
You always yell at me when I do it.
Oh, my dangle.
Yeah, we're doing the mulch thing today. We went and I lumped 60 bags of mulch in the I had to do 2 loads of it. Then I'll fit in the pickup truck at one time.
Can you not like go to a company and have them drop mulch? I know it's kind of a pain, but the cost difference is massive.
Maybe. So like 60 bags, it's like, $200, a little under $200. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they would charge to bring this, then you got to like wheelbarrow it halfway across the yard, which is quite a distance.
You do, but I mean, like we pay I think $500 for 9 cubic yards of mulch. That's a lot of bags.
Oh, that's a lot. I think one bag is like 2 cubic feet. Yeah.
Right. So that's tiny compared. Yeah.
Yeah, we thought about the chip drop. Like you can get on the list and get the stuff for free, but you don't know what you're getting. It could be anything like sprayed with stuff, or you just don't have any idea.
I mean, it's usually trees, so it shouldn't be sprayed so much.
You'd hope not.
I don't know anybody that sprays their trees really.
But it could be like it could be toxic too. So I don't know. Like some of that stuff.
I think drop's a great thing, and I've signed up for it, and it's never happened, right? Our area just so. But what I would do is go ahead and order it up, and because they're chips, I a little concerned, right? Less concerned because it's from trees, right? You just not people aren't out there spraying pesticide and herbicides on trees. Usually. Right? And this is kind of a very weird case, right? What are you doing, like climbing that tree and spraying its branches? You know what I mean? That's us. But then again, you don't have probably quite the same, like these may be smaller trees. They may be more ornamental trees that they're using for chips and stuff like that. And in which case, yeah, you could be taking in spray. But let it sit in a pile and off gas for a while. You know what I mean? Just let it go. And once you start seeing mushroom growth, because you will with the wood chips, you better. If you're not, then don't use them.
Right.
But after about a year, you should see some mycelium in there. And if you're seeing mycelium, then it's good to go. You've got life in there. You've got the best part of a garden, right?
I do see that with the stuff we're using. It's just bare cypress mulch. There's no dyes or anything like that in it. Whereas I didn't know, like the regular mulch you buy, the really cheap stuff that's dyed, it could be anything in there, like pallets, construction debris. Like, It's not even guaranteed like what it is.
No, it's not. It's like bedding for the animals, right? We get bedding sometimes, and we'll go drop a bag in a horse stall or half bag. We try and stick to about a half bag. Otherwise, it just waste it. Really, you clean up poop, and you get like way too much bedding in there, and you're just throwing away solid, good, dry bedding. But we throw that out there, and you'll find little chips of like trim, like painted white trim, like a little painted white trim. And I'm like, really, seriously? It's bedding. It's going in a horse stall. It's meant to be pooped on. So I don't care so much of it, but I don't like that because the horses will still do stupid stuff, especially with new bedding, and go down there and check out the new bedding and sometimes take a little taste of the bedding.
Really?
Like, what are you doing, horse?
You compost all that stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We do a pretty, hands-off compost type of a thing. We just pile. So January or so, we have a cutoff, and come January, we start a new pile. We have 3 little areas where we do a pile. I say little; they're big for most people. They would say that's a big pile. But we start them in January and just pile all the manure, food scraps, any veg that turned or was already bad, like drilled into by worms or whatever the case is. All that stuff goes in there. If we mow the field, if we let it grow, sometimes we'll do that to let it go to seed and wait for the seed to drop and then mow the stuff down. So we get that continuation, the reseed of the grass without ever having the grass or buy seed. You can't do that in an HOA type situation or a city situation because they'll get really angry with you when you have 9-foot tall grass out front of your house. But we don't have any of those, so we're good. But we'll take large clumps of the cuttings. Sometimes there'll be a big clump that gets piled up on the bush hog, and we'll take those and put them in the tractor bed and add that in there as well. And we just keep doing that all year, and maybe 4 times a year, maybe sometimes once a year we'll turn it, but it's sitting there and it's hot, it's real hot because when we turn it, it's hot. And it's composting, and we've been doing this for coming up on a decade. And we've had the compost is better than we've gone entire seasons with just compost, no fertilizing, and we don't use chemical fertilizers, all natural type stuff, right? So nothing that isn't organic, which essentially means it's composted material anyway. But we've gone a whole season with gigantic, amazing veg, and just used compost, nothing else.
That's great.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, even the limited compost we got with just the grass clippings and chicken manure, that stuff, excellent. Way better than the stuff you buy, in a bag at the store.
Oh, without question. Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge benefit, and it's a huge benefit if you use your compost. You can create compost tea. You can do others. Well, we could probably do a show on that. We're getting a little long in the tooth on this one, but um, you know, you can create compost tea and use it to water plants. You can also just lay compost, just dress compost over your garden beds. You know, when you first plant, put some down, and then when they get to the point where they're about to flower or they're starting to flower, you recognize that, put some more compost down. And when the fruits come in, put a little more compost down. And you're just feeding those plants. You don't need to use fertilizer. You can just use compost if you've got good compost. And really good compost just means you're having a mix of things. Like you can do this, but I wouldn't recommend it. You could just compost grass cuttings, but it's not going to be what you want for compost. You want some grass, you want some dead stuff in there too, your browns and your greens, really.
Exactly. Yep. So I think we're going to go finish the rest of the garden today, do the cardboard and the mulch on top deal, and then we'll be done for this season as far as that. And she's got some starts going because it's that time for us for our winter crop, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Get some carrots and broccoli and cauliflower and that kind of thing.
Very nice. Yeah. Brassicas. I love brassicas, man. I just do. I just love them, cabbage, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, you name it. I love brassicas. I just really do. They're so good.
I like that stuff now too. I like that.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts are really one of my favorite things. They're like miniature little personal cabbages. They're like the Cornish game hen for the cabbage world.
I enjoyed them when you made them. They were good.
Yeah. Have you guys?
Not since, no.
Have you? Oh, okay. So
nope.
Other people's are.
Yeah,
good.
That's right. we tried it once before that, and they weren't the best. I mean, I ate them, but I didn't enjoy them quite as much.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of, you have to do them right. I personally, I'll eat them steamed. I don't care. I love
All right.
them. But a lot of people feel the way you do, right? And we do the Brussels sprouts and clean them, and then we'll it depends on how I'm doing it, but a lot of the times we'll have them to make it a little easier. And then use pancetta, salt, pepper, olive oil, and pancetta, and put them in a pan on a grill, and do that, and get them kind of a little charred, get that pancetta crispy. Close the lid so it bakes the Brussels sprouts as well, and it turns out pretty fantastic in my eyes.
Nice.
I think
sounds good.
That's what you had.
That's probably why it sounds good.
Was
yeah,
it good?
I liked it.
It's good stuff, man. It's very good. So I'm not entirely certain what we're going to get into today. We've got a few projects we need to get done. I'm probably going to, I guess, so I'll probably replace wall switches. We got some new light fixtures put in. We've got some wall switches that were just standard switches, and they're dimmable. And one of the light fixtures it's like turning the sun on inside of the house. So it needs to be dimmed. So I got to replace the wall switches with dimmers. And then we've got a couple of more light fixtures to put up in the house, and then some at the entryway and stuff like this.
Nice.
And while I really don't like electric work, this is pretty easy stuff.
Just get your multimeter out. Make sure the power's off.
You just touch both wires.
It's like a 9-volt battery. Just stick it on your tongue and
Right?
No, it's working.
No, it's on still.
I mean, it's only 120 volts. It ain't gonna hurt you.
well, it might hurt, and it certainly could do bad things to you, but it's not that bad.
Let me know how it goes.
It's not the kind that's just going to fry you, immediately. I don't think.
Yeah. No, I usually check it like 3 or 4 times just to make sure. Then I call the wife over and say, "Hey, touch this. Make sure it's off."
I used to be a lot less concerned with that stuff until we had a house that was built in the 50s in Charlotte prior to this, and look, in the modern world, if you turn the light switch off and there's no power to your light fixture, you can safely go and drop the light fixture out and put a new one in and touch the wires, and you're good. In the 1950s, I don't know what kind of whatness they did, but it was weird and bad, and everything was junctioned into everything else. And so light switch goes off, lights off, and I'm up on the ladder taking the light fixture down, and I go to pull the wires out, and I touch both wires, and that came off the ladder.
Backfeeding on the neutral or something, yeah.
Yeah, and so ever since then, I'm like, yeah, no, you just go turn the breakers off, period. No breaker, no power, It's
I've seen some weird videos on like YouTube where power's coming through like the plumbing pipes. Like, what? Like somebody calls and says, "I'm getting shocked by my faucet," and the electrician comes out there. Yeah, sure enough, they're putting a little tester on there. Power's coming up through the pipes.
Well, that was another thing we had, right? And we're in, we're in North Carolina, so we get thunderstorms, right? You guys do too. But in the olden days, there was this, we know you need to have a ground, right? Well, you've got all these copper pipes running through your house. So we just do a cold water ground. Yeah, this is really good, but it also means during a thunderstorm, stay away from your freaking shower.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's just a potential issue, right? It doesn't mean that it will be, but I imagine someone did something like that and then, somehow got a hotline attached, and yeah, now you're sparking at your water faucet. It's like the guy with the ignition key, right?
Yeah, no, I'll never forget that one. That was interesting. He'll probably never forget it either.
I would doubt it. Yeah, that would stick in my brain for a while, getting zapped trying to start your car.
Yeah, we got this one knife in the house, and I was cleaning it off, and it's right after she sharpened it too, and it's so sharp it cut me without even realizing it, and then but every time I touch that knife, I get that little tingly feeling, like, hey, be careful with that thing. I'm sure every time he turns that ignition key, he's like, I
don't want to. He's got 2 little wooden blocks in there.
I'm sure that truck's long gone now. Maybe he get over it by now.
Well, everything's
like, maybe he's probably got a push button. Everybody's got a push button almost now.
I don't
either, but
my wife does, but I have no push button.
We were looking at newer cars. I don't know. I go down this path every once in a while thinking about it. And then I start looking at them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want all the stuff. That's the problem that I have with it. I just want, it's nifty, it's neat, backup cameras and all the whiz bang stuff and the big screen and all that cool crap. But it also it comes with some. I want to buy a car and have the car and it operates and it does everything it's supposed to, and it doesn't connect to this or that, and it doesn't need a download, and it doesn't. I just want a car, man. It's so it's one of those things.
That's kind of weird coming from a tech guy, though. You'd think you'd want all that stuff.
Ooh, yeah. No, I am a tech guy, and I know enough about tech to have as little tech in my life as possible. How's that? You know, I mean, I have tech, don't get me wrong, but I don't have a smart house thing. I don't want any of that. I don't have Ring cameras, and I don't have smart sensors and blah, 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 blah. Because no.
Is your thermostat Wi-Fi?
It is. The thermostat is. That's the one piece. And it's actually a requirement now.
Yeah. So like when we had ours, our HVAC system replaced a couple of years ago, I told them, I don't want a Wi-Fi thermostat. I want like a regular one. In fact, if you got the little round ones that you like with the mercury in them that you turn, and like, that's the one I want. Perfect. And they're like, nope, they're all Wi-Fi. Yeah. You can't even get one.
Yeah. I think you might.
I mean, you could buy one, but they didn't have any. They're like, nope, that's what we have.
Yeah. Well, we were the inspectors that when they come and do stuff, that's a requirement.
Really?
Is the thing. And they told me, they're like, yeah, if you want to take it off afterwards, you can. In new installs, right? Not in like our situation. If you're replacing from an old one, it's not necessarily a requirement, but they all came with the units, and I was like, all right. So yes, we do have that. But I also take some different precautions with those as well.
It's watching you. It's watching you. You wrap it in like aluminum foil when you're not using it.
I've literally thought about Faraday caging the damn things. That's how bad I just don't like them. Like even my TV, right? And mine is just at the cusp where the voice activation, talk to your TV. Why do I want to talk to my TV? I want my TV to talk to me. That's it. No two-way. I don't need to interact with my TV. But when we go to watch or we get done watching TV, the power strip that everything is plugged into gets turned off, which is also plugged into a little, battery backup that also gets turned off. That's how much I trust technology. Okay.
And right now your phone in your pocket is saying, man, he's talking a lot about TVs and thermostats. We better show him a lot of ads for TVs and thermostats.
Right? Yeah, it's true. And I'm actually, I've been considering this, and I'm going to go ahead and plug these guys above phone. Ramiro Romani, I believe, is the gentleman's name. I think he started this company. And it's literally, it's an older model phone, not super old. I think they have like the Pixel 9, maybe the 10 now. But they go through and install Graphene OS, which is it's the open source version of Android. So it has none of the Google hooks or any of that kind of stuff. And then they overlay some apps and some other pieces, XMPP, etc., to give you a phone that isn't constantly connected, that isn't, grifting on your life for data so they can sell you more stupid shit. Or worse, right? I mean, if we take it at face value, it's to sell you stupid shit. But I don't trust that. I don't think that's true. I think there's a far more nefarious reason for some of this stuff. But so I've been thinking about getting one of those, right? And really going to the route of, now it's not, it's not a thing.
I'll have to look into it. I've never heard of it. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. When, hey, if I didn't have to work, I think, part of me would like to just get an Amish buggy and then ditch the vehicle. And if I can't get there on a horse and buggy, I don't need to get there. And ditch the smartphone and get like, some ancient flip phone or something that I could have. And why would I do that? So that I could have a phone, obviously. I think it's important to have some kind of communication. But, I think at that point I'd leave it at the house. Well, what's the point of a cell phone? Because nobody puts landlines in anymore.
Do they still make stupid phones? Like just like a regular phone that's only a phone? That's it?
You can find them. Yeah. They're hard to find. Like even the little flip phones, they put all the smart crap
they do.
into it. Well, yeah, because they got to data mine your life. They have.
I didn't know if they had like those cheap burner phones that you can buy for $20 or whatever, and then you buy the card to add time on it or whatever. If any of those were just regular, just phones or.
They used to be, and I think you can still get some, right? The very simple, but even those I think still have like GPS in them and stuff like that, right? So it's kind of like I just want a phone, pre-GPS, all that kind of stuff. I don't care. I just put it in the house and it'll be there. And when I get back to the house, I'll look and see if anyone called. And if not, the phone will stay where it is. And I might even just leave it plugged in the whole time and treat it like it was an old school landline. Like I have to use it while it's plugged in. It can't move from this cord. So I'm stuck. It can't go with me.
There you go.
Sorry. Yeah.
I enjoy not having a phone. I don't know. I mean,
then you get a new car and you find out that they want you to subscribe and set up this account and everything else. And next thing you know, you find out that it's sending all kinds of telemetry data back to Toyota, including the internal cameras and the external cameras of the vehicle.
So how far back do I got to go to like get rid of that stuff? Like 2015? Is that old enough?
I think I don't know. I know if you get up to like 2010 is where it really starts to come into play in some models and areas. I think you're probably okay with some at 2015. Probably. Like my 09 Ford has an old Microsoft Sync in it. That's the intelligence in the Ford. And I love that because the thing's busted. It doesn't even work. So it doesn't do anything. There's no telemetry. Right. There's no account. There's no nothing. You know what I mean? And it's already got more electronics in it than I would care for.
We have none of that stuff either.
I'd be happy to go back to points and condenser, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like we were going to take our car to come up to see you guys, but she does most of the driving. She enjoys the lane assist and the, what do you call it? The radar thing, whatever it is, the adaptive cruise control.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nice, I guess, if it works, but
your car has that? No,
we don't have that.
Oh, that's the rental.
Yeah, that's where we're going to rent one.
You guys going to rent the sporty car? Or are you going to go with the minivan?
No, minivan's too expensive now. I don't know why. We're just a mid-size SUV thing, whatever it is. Nissan Rogue or similar, whatever they give us.
Audi A8?
No, we were looking at for the same, a little bit more. We could have got a BMW 3 Series or a Audi A4, I guess. I don't know.
Both sporty cars.
Yeah, we probably fit more crap in the back of an SUV though. She likes to take like half the house, like eight bags and things.
Airbnb. That's the beauty of an Airbnb. You can take the stuff that you know and love with you. My Smithy cast iron.
That's pan. Right. We did that. We did that last year, and we will probably do it again.
Yeah, and it makes it, in my eyes, it makes it so much better, right? Because you feel some of the comforts of home. Now you still have to adjust to a new stove, etc., like you did with ours, because you're electric. Yeah. So you come to gas, and it's a different cooking experience.
It's much different. Time. Yeah, it heats up a lot faster. Like I got to preheat my pan like 15 minutes before then. Yours is like a minute. It's ready to go.
Yeah. I usually do about a minute 30 for my heat up. I do a minute, and then I put the lubricant in, the fat of some form, oil, butter, ghee, tallow, lard, whatever, and then give it another 30 seconds because that'll cool it down. And you want that to come up to temp, and then boom. Yeah, but about a minute and a half.
Big difference.
It is. Yeah, and I've had electric stoves before, and they cook way different.
Even the stove thing, like, so we considered getting a newer stove, and like now, all the electric ones, they have like a sensor thing, like where you put the pan. I guess it's like just not as good. They don't just come on. The burners,
really?
yeah, you can replace the burners with like the old style ones, but by law they got to have like a little sensor thing in the middle of them. They don't work as well.
You have to make sure the child's hand is firmly on the burner before the burner will get hot. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. It's for your safety.
Yeah. Then it has Wi-Fi that tells you stuff, like, because you need that.
My stove has Wi-Fi, and I'm like, why in the what?
It's ridiculous.
No.
Why does your washing machine need Wi-Fi?
Yeah. I don't know. Like they, everyone wants to just sit on their phone and like, oh, I'm going to preheat the oven. Oh, let me start that load of laundry.
Help my neighbor put a new garage door opener on. It's Wi-Fi. Because you need an app on your phone for your garage door opener.
No, man. No, I hate that stuff. I really do. I detest.
You can't buy it without it. Everything has it. They don't even have a basic model. No, it just has it.
Well, I guess we got lucky because we bought one about 4 years ago, and it has no.
Oh, okay.
It has no. Yeah, it came with three remotes, and you key the.
It might be the brand one. Like, I don't remember. I don't know where he got it. Lowe's, maybe something. I'm not sure.
It's not surprising to me, and they're trying to get more and more of this stuff into home automation. And hey, look, if that's your gig, that's cool, I guess. But just know that all of that information, all of that telemetry is going to someone, and they're mining it so that they can target you with chud you don't need. But you're going to think you need it because they're targeting you psychologically. They're using psychological profiles to pattern you.
Yep.
That's literally what's going on. And so, yeah, no thanks. I don't want to be the product. It's the same reason I quit all social media, like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp,
but not Telegram. And we were going to talk about Telegram. We were actually going to open up about Telegram.
We were. Dang it. The best laid
We
plans.
missed it. Anyway, you can catch us on Telegram. You can catch Havoc on Telegram. I haven't quite signed up for it yet. I'm halfway through the process.
You can catch me on Telegram, and the Telegram channel is growing. It's still small, but hey, join Telegram. Find us there. It's Space Tomatoes. We'll leave a link. I'll see if I can put a link in the description. Before YouTube was like, yeah, no, we don't know who you are. So I'm like, it's two people. My face is literally on the video every time, and you want me to prove that I'm a real person or something? I don't know. Whatever. So they wouldn't let me post links. So I'll give it another shot and see if it'll let me, because that would be nice.
Thank you for our new subscribers. Appreciate you.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you to the new subscribers. We very much appreciate you. Thank you to those that, drop comments and leave likes and, all that good stuff. We really do appreciate that. It makes us feel good. It makes us, doesn't do anything for us, monetarily or anything like that. But it does feel good. It's like, oh, hey, someone, paid attention and enjoyed the show. And that's kind of cool to get feedback that says so, whether it's just click the thumb button, click the subscribe thing. Dude, we put out a weekly video, one time a week.
We try. We try. We've been doing pretty good lately.
Yeah. Click the subscribe button. That kind of stuff it feels good. It does. It's like, that's cool, So I don't know. But yeah, find us on Telegram. You can find us on YouTube, obviously. Spotify. There's Spotify. iHeartRadio, if you prefer that, for your listening. Podcast Addict. I think we're on Podbean as well. We're on
Twitter.
And then of course Telegram. And if you want to chat with us, we have the Telegram, is set up. You can join it. You don't have to. It's not a weird app. It's just a chat app. It's got, you know, limited, very limited censorship, etc., and you know, all that good stuff. But it's just a chat app. So if you want to come in there and do some interactive chatting, we'll chat with you, etc. And then yeah, that's where you can find us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We very much appreciate your time. We always do. And hopefully you've enjoyed the show. And again, if you did, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Leave a comment. We'll interact with you. And remember, no matter where you are, whenever you're listening to this, have an amazing day.
See you, everybody.